Good evening. I'd like to call to order the October 12th, 2023 regular meeting of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Bridget, can we get the roll call, please?
President Gibson?
Here.
Vice President Ruffing? Here. Commissioner Ansier? Here. Commissioner Jacks?
Here.
Commissioner Janner?
Here.
Commissioner Risvold absent, and Commissioner Thompson absent.
Great, thank you. Are there any matters from the public?
There are none.
All right, then we will start with reports. I will start with the Riverwalk Commission report. Riverwalk Commission met yesterday, October 11th. We got updates on Fred and Hagen Park Fountain repairs, and we're told that there's some issues with the horse trough fountain on the Riverwalk as well, so those repairs are going to be addressed together in the coming months. We also got updates on the Riverwalk Master Plan document, Eagle Street Gateway design, and the South Gateway extension. But the highlight of the meeting was we received a community mobility assessment from physical therapy students at North Central College. They went out and walked the Riverwalk and assessed it for accessibility of people with different abilities. They had some really great suggestions. Some likely won't be able to be implemented, such as the width of the sidewalks along the river because of floodplain regulations. But some ones that we can hopefully implement are some more benches, so people with mobility issues have more opportunities to sit and rest along the Riverwalk. There's seat walls in certain areas, but those aren't necessarily accessible to all members of our community. And one of their big comments was the accessibility of getting to the lower Riverwalk, and that's actually going to be addressed with the Eagle Street Gateway, which is part of the 2031 master plan that will be happening next year. So we're really excited to make those changes and make the Riverwalk more accessible. So we appreciate those students taking the time and making the report and sharing it with us. The next meeting of the Riverwalk Commission is going to be November 8th, 2023 at the Municipal Center, and it's actually going to be in a new room. It used to be in the lunchroom, and now it's going to be right next door to that at the Naperville Employee University room. All right, next up we have the Finance Committee.
Finance Committee has not met since we last gave updates. However, Executive Director Wilson and Director Stanish are in the process of scheduling time with each individual board member to discuss the budget.
Great. Thank you, Vice President Ruffing. Legislative Committee, is there a report or no? Parks and Rec Committee.
The Parks and Rec Committee met this evening prior to tonight's meeting. At 5 o'clock, we met a little earlier today. Biggest discussion was over the Winding Creek Park basketball court installation proposal. We got an update of the proposal from Director Schutz after meeting with the community and listening to the community members' concerns about the park and the putting in the basketball court. Some members of the community came and spoke, but overall, the board decided, the committee decided to move forward with the proposal to bring forth to the committee, to the commissioners at the next meeting, I believe. We also discussed just upcoming contract changes and bids for different projects and different items. Updates on building of the dugout shelters, some of the 18th hole project at the golf course. They had a good turnout for the auditions for the Magical Starlight Theater production that's going to be happening in January, so that's pretty cool. We got some new equipment here at Fort Hill, and we also talked about some of the restoration projects that's going on to remove some invasive plants and trees in the Rush Prairie. I can't write round writing. But anyway, the next meeting will be on November 9th at 5:45 here at Fort Hill.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Ansier. Next up is the President's report. Today was a pretty exciting day for my family, and I promise I'm going somewhere with this, but my brother-in-law had his naturalization ceremony to become American and took his oath of office, or his oath of allegiance, something a little different. And he lives out west, so I wasn't able to go, but I was able to live stream it. And it was really a moving ceremony. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I wasn't just moving to see my brother-in-law take his oath of allegiance and become an American, but I mean, even just seeing 24 strangers stand up there and do the work to get to that room and to take that oath, it was moving. It's trite, but it made me really proud to be an American. So I went around my day getting ready for this meeting, for our Parks and Rec meeting, which started a little early tonight because we had a lot of community interest. And I kept thinking about all the patriotic things so many of us do every day and don't necessarily see it that way. Those of us on the board get to see it a lot. We hear it from our neighbors when they come to meetings like this evening and stand before us and share their thoughts and opinions. We read your emails when you tell us what is working at the Park District or things that you think we can do better. We see it in your survey responses, when we have focus groups and we read the reports of those, and when we run into you in our communities and you all know we're on the board and talk to us about what you like about the Park District and what you'd like to see here. The judge at my brother-in-law's ceremony this afternoon talked about the rights, the freedoms, and the privileges of being an American, but she also talked about the responsibilities. And I think civic engagement is a big part of what she was talking about. It's things like voting, but it's also things like paying attention to what's happening in your community and making your voice heard and lending your time, your talents, your expertise, your opinions to make our community better, not just for your own family, but for all of us here. We may not always agree, but we show up, we care, we work together, and we try to make Naperville the best community we can. So it stays like this, like my day with my family, but also places like this, meetings like we had this evening that make me proud to be a member of our community. So thank you to all of you who are engaged, and I look forward to working with you. I know we all look forward to continuing to work with you to make Naperville the best place to live. So thank you. Next up is Executive Director Wilson's report.
Thank you, President Gibson. The Park District is going to host Halloween Happening, which is a favorite Halloween fest for kids 10 and under on Sunday, October 29th from 1 to 4 p.m. The event is free and takes place at the Riverwalk Grand Pavilion west of Centennial Beach. Kids can dress up in their Halloween costumes and enjoy lots of activities, games, and goodies. The event is presented by Woody Buick GMC and supported by many other sponsors in the community who will have fun activities and treats on site. After Halloween is over, save your pumpkins for the annual Pumpkin Smash. On Saturday, November 4th from 9 to noon, you can bring your leftover Halloween pumpkins to the Ron Ori Community Garden Plots, located at 811 Southwest Street. You can smash your pumpkins yourself or just drop them off. Pumpkins are smashed and composted into the soil at the garden plots, adding nutrients and water back into the soil and keeping them out of the landfill. Hard to believe, but it's already time to think about the holidays, with the first registration date coming up on Tuesday, October 17th for two popular events, those being Santa's Hotline and Santa's Naperville Workshop. Santa's Hotline gives families an opportunity to receive a phone call from Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus, who will speak to each child by name and ask for gift ideas. Santa's Hotline calls are free, but registration is required and is per family. Call date options are for the evenings of December 6th and 7th. Santa's Naperville Workshop, which is also presented by Woody Buick GMC, is located at the Paddleboat Quarry Rentals building on the Riverwalk and will be open November 27th through December 21st. Registration is $10 per resident family and $15 for non-resident families. Learn more and register for both events at napervilleparks.org, beginning at noon on October 17th for residents and at noon on October 19th for non-residents. A replica of the Vietnam Wall of Remembrance will be on display from Thursday, November 9th through Monday, November 13th near the Riverwalk Grand Pavilion just west of Centennial Beach. The annual Veterans Day ceremony will be held at the Vietnam Wall on Saturday, November 11th at 11 a.m. For details and event updates, visit napervilleparks.org/Vietnam Wall of Remembrance. You can still register your child for the winter session of Naperville Youth Basketball, which begins in early January. Registration for the winter session begins on Tuesday, November 7th at noon for residents and Thursday, November 9th at noon for non-residents. Parent volunteer coaches and assistant coaches are needed. It's a great way to get involved and make memories with your child. And then finally, the Naperville Indoor Soccer begins on November, and registration is currently underway and open until October 30th. Participants enjoy playing in a fun recreational atmosphere. Games are played at Naperville Yard Sports Complex on Saturdays between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., and there are no practices. Parent volunteer coaches are also needed for each team. Register on the Park District website at napervilleparks.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Director Wilson. Next up, we have the Treasurer's Report.
Move to approve the August 2023 Treasurer's Report.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Ansier?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes. Bridget, would you please read the consent agenda?
5.1, approve September 2023 disbursements in the amount of $3,521,575.01. 5.2, approve September 2023 disbursements made through the Bank of America Purchasing Card Program in the amount of $277,650.88. 5.3, approve September 2023 FinTech disbursements in the amount of $4,812.10. 5.4, approve September 2023 customer refunds in the amount of $2,639.61. 5.5, approve September 28, 2023 regular meeting minutes. 5.6, approve Resolution 23-10, notice of the schedule of regular meetings of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners for the 2024 calendar year. 5.7, reject the bid from Total Elevator Service for failure to submit a responsive bid and to accept the base bid of DME Access LLC in the total amount of $64,660 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the Centennial Beach Vertical Platform Lift Replacement Project, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $67,893. 5.8, accept the base bid of Waterwell Solutions Illinois LLC in the total amount of $38,200 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the Commissioners Park Irrigation Recharge Well Equipment Replacement Project, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $40,110. 5.9, approve the purchase of two 2023 Ford F-250 Super Cab pickup trucks from Curie Motors Ford for $51,967.24 and $53,342.24. 5.10, move to find that supply chain issues have made the procurement of transportation vehicles no longer adaptable to competitive bidding, and to ratify and approve non-pro-tunc the action of the Executive Director in purchasing one 2022 Ford F-250 SRW service truck from Willowbrook Ford for $59,445.26. 5.11, approve the renewal of the recycling dumpster services contract for 2024 with Groot Industries, Inc., at an estimated value of $61,607.21. Finally, 5.12, approve ordinance 1043, declaring property outlined in Exhibit A as surplus.
Thanks, Bridget. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately? All right.
Move to accept consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.12.
Second. Oh, sorry.
Could we get a roll call, please?
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Ansier?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.12.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have no unfinished business tonight, no new business. The next scheduled meeting, regular meeting of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners is October 26th, 2023 at 6:30 here at Fort Hill Activity Center.
Move to adjourn to executive session to discuss acquisition of property per section 2C5.
Oh,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Ansier?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes. All right. Thank you, everyone.